Hey Better Architects, Tony here, and in this video, we're going to vent a bit. Want to join me? Project managers, which will henceforth be referred to as PM. We've all worked with them. Some of you might see them as the boss. Some of you might see them as your friend. But like family, they do things that really annoy us. Let's get straight to it, right? Well, the first one is something that we all experience. Imagine with me. It's 5 p.m. on a Thursday afternoon. You made plans for tonight because you know that you'll have to stay late and push out the design package for tomorrow's deadline. Well, it turns out that your PM did not review the progress set that you submitted last night until 4 p.m. today. Why? Well, because he's been chatting with the client about some of the new design ideas that the client would like to see included in the package. They both agree that it would be a quick change. We've all heard this before. After all, you're only just rotating the corner office 90 degrees to give more natural light to the open workstation behind it. Let's collect ourselves. Maybe it's a fast change that you can get it done before 6. So, you launch Revit, you go into the plan, you rotate the office, update the furniture plans, the electrical plans, and PDF. Now it's 5:30. You draft the new email saying, "Please see attached for the updated package per your red lines." Sent. Now, as you wait for a response, you get ready. 5:45. You see a new email in your inbox. Please, let it be an email to the client. No, but sadly, it's an email to you with another set of red lines. In it, you discover that the corner office should also have a clear storefront with a sliding door. That means that you'll need to update the plans as well as the elevation, the door schedule, the hardware schedule, and much more. You had also forgotten to rotate the ceiling the first time around, along with the lights and the diffusers and the returns. Speaking of diffusers and returns, you now have to reach out to the MEP consultants to get them to update their model so that the building will be coordinated for the set. The client is presenting to a CEO tomorrow and the set must be perfect. So you click respond. Nah, I'm going to quit. But only to realize that you wrote, got it. Hey babe, my boss, you know him. Hey babe, you'll never guess. Hey babe, I'm sorry. Hey babe, I'm sorry. I won't be able to make it to... Hello? Hello? Babe? Babe? That previous scenario was caused by a characteristic the horrible PM possesses, and that is the characteristic of being a yes man. Hey Siri, define yes man.
A person, especially a man, who agrees with everything that someone says. A person who supports the opinions or ideas of someone else in order to earn that person's approval.
So you combined this attitude to please the client with the inability to understand the workflows in Revit, and you have somebody who constantly strives to kiss the client, but leaves the team with a bill. What's worse is that he sees this process as the dues that new designers must pay as they enter the workforce. Therefore, there's no apology from the PM, but instead, there's a sense of entitlement to his behavior. I mean, after all, he paid his dues 20 years ago from when he first started. Everyone must go through this. Friends, it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to follow in those footsteps if you've been a victim of the yes man. You can be better. A better architect, that is. See what I did there? By the way, there are dues that new designers must pay, but I'll cover that in another video. Now next, we move to PMs who lie about or conceal true deadlines. As architects, you know that during deadline week, you have all hands on deck and the production staff works overtime almost daily to get the project out the door on time. This almost always leads to mistakes by rushing, and some of these mistakes are careless and frankly embarrassing. To combat this, PMs may want to put this pressure on a week in advance so that there's an extra week to do QA/QC, quality assurance, quality control. That in and of itself could be a good thing. What makes it bad is not telling the team the plan, but instead rush the team needlessly to get it done for what everyone believes is the deadline. PMs who do this loses a lot of points with their team because the team will no longer be able to trust their words. The team's loyalty for the PM will erode much quicker over time. Now, I've had a few run-ins early in my career. It's when I thought that knowing the project schedule was something someone in my level should not be concerned about. This wasn't because the PM told me that it was above my pay grade, but instead it's because the PM hasn't shared with me the schedule details for the project. So I kind of came to my own conclusions as to why he wouldn't tell me this. And that is, I probably didn't need to know. But it would have been really helpful for me to manage my own time as a junior if I had the schedule ahead of time. So that's why when I was PM, I made sure everybody on my team knew what the schedule was, which included major milestones and internal deadlines as well. I also asked my team to weigh in to see if the schedule is realistic. I mean, after all, they're the one who's doing the work, right? Having them weigh in, they also feel like they're at fault if they don't meet the deadline. So I want to do this before I want to send this out to the clients and the consultant. Now, I believe knowing the project schedule is something that everyone on the team must know, and it baffles me when PMs forget to share this information. I mean, it's okay if the schedule is not set in stone and you're taking things 1 week at a time. But if a PM really forgot, then that leads me to my next point. Organization. PMs are not usually working on just one project at a time. If you're in a middle-sized office and your projects are fairly small, say from 1,200 square feet to 20,000 square feet, yes, what's considered small varies from office to office and sector to sector. They're going to be working on multiple projects. That's because you have a downtime after a submission. So as the PM, you got to be on top of the schedule for all the projects and manage the client's expectations by staggering the deadlines. If you're just starting out as a PM, or if you're the one-man band, your disorganization will only come back to bite you. But when you're on a large team managing multiple projects, you need to prioritize organization above everything else. Well, maybe second to clear communication. You need to know what's going on all aspects of the project. That includes the workload of your team, the project schedule, the project budget, how over budget you are on the project or under budget, the project scope, key contacts, and etc. This should be your number one priority. If you're working on the project too and modeling, then you're not managing. There are exceptions, of course, but that leads me to the last item. PMs who like to go into the model and model things because, well, your team just can't seem to get things right. If you're skilled in modeling, this tends to happen, especially when you're more skilled in Revit than your team. In this case, your job should be training your team to do the job rather than doing the job for them. Well, hold that thought. If you're a PM who don't know Revit and goes into Revit and treats it like CAD, just stop! Just stop. Just stop. Stop. Why? Because you'll be doing more harm to the project and your team who has to now spend time to fix your mistakes. I've also seen PM trying to learn Revit, but I would say it's actually beneficial that you don't. Now hear me out, because if you're working in the model, who's going to be managing the projects? Hold on a sec. I don't know at what point when I went from venting about the PMs and referring to them in the third person to now talking to them in the second person. I guess the venting turned into a sort of a lecture for PMs. Sorry? I mean, I only wanted to vent about you with my fellow non-PMs behind your back and not tell you directly because we don't feel comfortable and we're not confrontational. We just wish that you would be able to read our minds and know all the issues that we have with you. To you, the non-PMs, feel free to leave a comment below and letting us know what else PMs have done to you, causing you so much emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
If you're a PM, well, just do the opposite what we've been complaining about, and then you should be very well on your way to becoming a good PM. Also, I want to put an asterisk around this. Okay, asterisk. Asterisk. PMs don't do all of these 5 things. It's just a combination of 1 or 2 or maybe sometimes 3. I'm only building a PM scarecrow. What is a scarecrow? Scarecrow. Boom. So that we can all hit on that and not the actual people that we've worked with, because in real life, things are pretty complicated. But if a PM does all 5 of these things on the list and is not a one-man show, well, I'm sorry, but they don't have any business being a PM. What? He's the principal? Oh, goodness. I had a lot of fun making that one.